Hey everyone, Luis again, walking through video 11 now of how I built an LLM-powered system that handles my content publishing. So in this one, we're going to talk about AWS CDK for infrastructure as code, why I went with it. So the big three are why CDK, constructs and how I use them, and why you want to use constructs. And then the last thing we'll talk is multi-environment deployment, which is really the power for me in this system. CDK, what is it? AWS Cloud Development Kit. This is a way to build cloud infrastructure as code, IAC, by using a a any programming language that's really supported, which is a lot of them. Big takeaway with it is that everything that you use will eventually be compiled down to TypeScript. So the de facto CDK, if you will, would be TypeScript, such is what I use to build this stack. Now, you can see right here, I'm sharing my screen showing what CDK looks like. It is TypeScript. So if you know JavaScript, you know TypeScript, you can build this. And the beauty of it is it's laid out very much like a Next.js folder. This is what I'm showing right now is app.ts. This is where the application starts. It comes in here and it checks what all the different things that need to be built are. So you have got a security stack, a storage stack, data stack, parameter stack, a platform stack, an amplify stack, a publishing stack. All that is declared here. And then those resources are explained throughout the file, what the constants are, or what the I name the stacks, name what the resources are, and the stack themselves and the resources are not in this file, but they point to where they are. Here we have all those different stacks that you just saw up on top. Grab this data stack for one. This is where now I actually build DynamoDB, give all the resources, create my global secondary index, but it creates a web. The nice thing is that it's using TypeScript, or I'm using TypeScript. You can use Python. You can use a lot more intense languages. It's a higher level way of being able to, or using a higher level language to accomplish the build out of this. And I went with it because it's a heck of a lot easier than using CloudFormation. And to show a comparison, so this is a file that I created some time ago to build a trading system that I was running on AWS. At that time, I only understood CloudFormation. So all of this is built in CloudFormation. So CloudFormation in this scenario is using YAML, which makes it very verbose. And you have to get into really nitty gritty, just everything, putting everything in here. It doesn't abstract as well as using the CDK. So with that, is a reason I went with CDK. It's the future. I believe in the future. So why not? Let's use the most modern way to build applications. So, and one of the things that a CDK lets us do is it helps us to build constructs. And I asked Claude for its help to help me explain this as basically as possible. So let me go here to my Claude. And what's a CDK construct? So the way Claude explains it to us, it's a way to build with Lego blocks, right? You have all these different Lego blocks that you're trying to use to build an application. A low level, which would be what I just showed you with CloudFormation, would be a low level, an L1. That's the way that AWS refers to it. It's an L1. It's very verbose. Everything maps to exactly one AWS resource, and you have to configure everything manually. While if we go up to L2, which is where CDK lives, it wraps all that L1 information and helps you abstract a lot. You don't have to get into all the individual manual details in it. And then there's L3, which takes that the next stop up, but let's show what a construct looks like. So here we go. We are going to navigate to this Lambda function construct. So Lambda functions is going to be a key part of the architecture, right? It is a lot of what's running a lot of my functionality. So great opportunity to develop or create a construct that allows me to standardize what a Lambda function even has. So here you see I'm pulling library of construct from construct. So all this is coming from CDK library. You have to install CDK on your system in order for it to understand all this. It does know where to go get these libraries naturally. So these are just declarations as you would in any other language of establishing what libraries are going to be used in that file. So here we go. We create this interface, and I said, all right, let me make a reusable Lambda. And each Lambda is going to have a function name, an entry point, a handler. The handler is, for those that are not familiar with Lambda, that's the actual Lambda code itself that gets compiled down and gets run by AWS. But it tells it, okay, well, where can I get that handler? I pass a bucket, a prefix, a table, environment, and any ARNs that I need. And that's an AWS resource number, I believe is what ARN stands for. So with that, now every Lambda that I create naturally understands those as variables that are coming in because I gave it a tool, so, and then I standardize all those environment variables along with it by creating an exportable reusable class from construct. I tell it what type of runtime it is, so I don't have to even declare that at the Lambda. I give it its bare bones, I guess repeatable values, a timeout, how much memory size, what's the architecture it needs to use, what needs to be bundled with it, and I can pass permissions to it. So Lambdas need permissions to access different resources, and those are granted with IAM policies and IAM rules. So this are roles. And I can build all that right here into this construct. So every time I build the Lambda now, I don't have to worry about granting it all this stuff. It gets it from the construct. So very, very powerful resource to have for CDK and why I went with it. It simplifies your code by a great amount. Now, the last powerful piece that I want to talk on was this multi-environment deployment, right? So I've got the independent quant, which is my trading channel, which is what I'm building as a business and kind of having people follow along as I build an algorithmic trade desk. And I've got this channel right here, which is just sharing my professional experience and how to be a professional within this field. If you're trying to get into it, just sharing those experiences. So I've got two websites, but I've got the same back end. How do I kind of manage it? And they're in two separate AWS orgs, right? Because one's a full-blown business, the other one's very much a personal and private project. But I need a publishing stack just the same as anything else because, like as I mentioned in my intro video, I bulk record all this stuff, bulk edit, and then schedule this stuff out over weeks to be published. And that's what this is helping me do. So I need the same infrastructure for both those websites. And what this allows me to do is I've created these configs here for each one of those different websites. You can see what the different values are that we have here as far as knowing which stacks get deployed, what their parameters are, and I can pick and choose which ones do and don't get sent. For example, in this one here, we've got a publishing, the research and economy stack don't go there because I don't need those over there, but I will need a newsletter on my personal site. So very powerful. I love that I'm able to do this. I can deploy to either AWS org, all from right here. All I have to do is maintain one repo and I can support multiple sites. I've got colleagues that are asking to work with me on a couple of different podcasts that I'm doing. So I'll have a couple more websites and those will be even easier to manage, just as easy to manage because I'll be able to give it the very same back end. Really pleased with being able to do all this. So that covers what we want to cover here. But our next video, I'm going to go an end-to-end workflow demo as to how this all kind of comes together and what it looks like. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you there at the next video.